Before I get into today's video, remember to follow me on Twitter. So my Twitter, the link is in the description below. You can also find me. My handle is @JacksonKruger. Come over, say hi. And anyways, back to your regularly scheduled video. All right, let's talk some Baltimore Ravens here. I want to talk about sort of the way the offense attacked the Chargers defense. I think maybe it could be a video for later this week to talk about the Ravens defense, but really I want to focus on the Ravens offense. I thought that there was some interesting schematic stuff. I was very intrigued to see if Brandon Staley was going to change some stuff that he typically does when he's going up against a team like the Ravens, who are so unique. Do you still want to play your defense that kind of allows teams to run on you to take away the deep stuff? And he said yes, and it clearly didn't work out. So let's talk about sort of how that happened and what ended up happening. So let's start off with something like this. Let's talk about how those extra blockers, I mean, really, it's like a plethora of extra blockers, because the way that the Chargers like to run their offense, or excuse me, run their defense, is with multiple safeties deep. They like to play what's called quarters coverage primarily, which means that you're going to have two safeties who are further deep, as opposed to, most teams will just have one. Meanwhile, on the flip side, for the Ravens, what they do is, with Lamar Jackson being a threat to run with the football, that usually gives you an extra blocker, right? Because either he runs and then your halfback can literally block, or you can just have him, run or sort of fake as though he's running, go to a different side of the field, and typically a defender has to follow him, so he's being an extra blocker in that way. So you have a defense that gives you a big advantage with an extra blocker versus an offense that kind of takes a big advantage by getting an extra blocker. So these added on, of course, it's going to make the running game work a lot better. I mean, just look at the concept on the screen. It's like, you're kind of looking at like they have extra guys. I mean, they have extra players to block. They're even pulling over a receiver as sort of a jet sweep motion, so they can even add on stuff this way, which is just, it's unfair, seemingly. You then have, your halfback runs out to block. Lamar's not even blocking on this play, or, well, he never blocks, but you know what I mean. Lamar's not taking away a defender on this play. However, still, when he takes a snap and hands the ball off, you're going to notice that it's just, it's too easy to pick up a first down on 2nd down and 9 right there. That's kind of what this Ravens offense can do, especially against this type of coverage. It's the perfect match for the Ravens offense to be able to pick up some yards through the ground. I think something like this will be an even better example this next play. So this is going to be a handoff to Latavius Murray, and the way it's going to work, and worth mentioning, a play like this, Lamar's not even, again, it's another one where Lamar's just being a traditional quarterback. He's handing the ball off. Now, you could argue there's still always a threat that Lamar keeps it himself and runs somewhere else, but he's not even really going to fake it. He's just going to hand the ball off. However, because of that quarters coverage thing, what the Ravens can do is, they're going to pull to their right? They have their left guard and left tackle both pull over, and they will be blocking multiple Chargers players. You see on the screen, everybody should be accounted for. And so when Lamar does give the ball to Murray, Murray gets through that first part just completely untouched. He doesn't even have to do anything. So now there are two safeties. And again, in this type of coverage, safeties are supposed to come down and make a tackle. That's how this coverage works. However, watch Murray just, split them and get into the middle of the end zone right there. And that's kind of what they can do. So that's the issue, is that the Ravens can set that kind of stuff up, and then they have good backs who can, get into the end zone and do stuff like that. So it's kind of what made it work really well for the Ravens. And then there's also stuff like this, where another issue of this defense that, this quarters coverage defense that we've seen teams, more and more teams start to do, is it's predictable. That's not an insult. It's predictable by design. And listen, as I'm, talking about how the Ravens shredded this defense, I actually like the defense. I think the defense can work, although you do need the right personnel, which it might just take some time for the Chargers to complete that stuff. But one of the issues is that we've seen teams now sort of game plan plays to beat this exact coverage. That's the issue with when you run a, one coverage primarily, is that teams can game plan around it. So on this play, you have multiple receivers to Lamar's left who are going to be running deep routes. Andrews fakes as though he's going over the middle, but then he'll kind of follow them. So you see the idea is that the corner and safety on that side of the field both stay deep, and then Andrews underneath can get open. And right when this play starts, that's pretty much what's happening. I mean, you look and this is completely wide open. I paused it right here. So this is the kind of thing where basically this was a great game plan from Greg Roman. He did an incredible job. Andrews is going to make the catch right here and nearly get into the end zone for a touchdown. So just good stuff from the Ravens. Good play designs on certain plays like that. Now I want to talk about this play. So it's going to be it's a zone coverage play, and I'm not exactly sure what happened. So this was the interception. It was a weird play. I feel like I should talk about this. Let's not just talk about the positives. Let's touch on at least this glaring negative. Not exactly sure what happened here, but let's break it down and do the best we can. So Lamar takes the snap, runs a play action, and now we'll get to here. I think what's happening is that Lamar has a read over to his left, and I think he's looking there. You look at his helmet, it's a little bit hard to see. It's possible he is looking over the middle, but I think that what the issue is that he's going to go to the next read and throw too quickly. He's not going to stop and wait and make sure that this is going to be open and see if there's someone maybe underneath who could intercept it. Because look, Lamar does throw one right over the middle, and they're just directly to a Chargers player. I think he just never saw him. I think he got to his next read too quickly, because you look past and there is an opening right there. So you can see why he made that throw, just that he never saw 44 right in front of him. Not a great play there. But yeah, I mean, as a whole, really good performance by the Ravens all around, of course, not just offensively, but defensively, probably more defensively than offensively. But I figured I should still mention that play because it did happen. So yeah, I mean, listen, okay, so one bad play. Other than that, really good job, really good game, I think, by everyone in the Ravens offense there. I know the numbers aren't spectacular. You look at the total offensive numbers and you're not going to be like blown away. But a lot of that, again, is by design. And when the deep stuff is taken away, they did a great job of just taking what the defense gave them, having these long, methodical drives. It's not easy to score 30 points, especially against the Brandon Staley defense, but they did an incredible job. So I think that, to me, this was a very impressive performance by the Ravens, and clearly was a bit of a statement game, right? They kind of said, no, we are legit. We are here to stay. Their offense looks awesome. Their defense looks awesome. Maybe the Ravens are better than we expected, and that's crazy given the injuries that they've had. So, yeah, that's what I think about this game. Let me know, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.